All right, boys and girls, here's a little update on the Dirty Midget because I'm going on holidays for a bit, so we're just gonna do a little bit of work. The reason I'm building an MG Midget, because I like them. So I've got my SRT4 motor, which is out of a PT Cruiser.
Look at you, it's already up in there.
Yeah. So I've cut out the original chassis parts. There they are down there, they're pretty rotten. This has been a really good educational experience for someone who is building a car for the track. This is the rear diff I'm gonna be using. This is gonna be my front cross member and suspension mount. That's just weight savings. Now with the sweet front suspension, it didn't fit. So I had to hack it out. So what I got here, this is out of G35, Nissan G35 from like the 2000s. I don't know what year. I picked it up at a Tousley's yard. He had one sitting there, so he dropped this whole cross member assembly for me. And we had a look. We were thinking about maybe if we could just adapt it right into the frame and bolt it in. But unfortunately, the wheel width of that car is too wide. It's about a couple inches too wide and it'll throw everything off. And it'd be kind of hard to adapt anyway. So I'm going to gut this because all I need out of this is the things, the outer spindles and the brake assembly. This diff is an open diff, so I'm not going to use that. And while I was on a date night in Toronto, we made a stop and I picked up a diff out of another car, which is limited slip. It's a VLSD, so it's not a true limited slip, it's a viscosity limited slip. I don't really know much about them, but at least it's better than an open diff. We'll see how it goes. Another big hurdle I gotta do is I gotta shorten these axles up because the wheel width is a bit too wide. So we're gonna have to figure out that one. We'll do it together. Right now I'm just gonna strip this down and get to the hubs. I probably should buy better end links and things, but I'm thinking just save money for now. I might just cut these and sleeve them to whatever length I need and reuse the ends for now. And when we get it more dialed in or closer to, I might get adjustable stuff. The cheapest I could probably replicate this link for is probably 35 bucks. But then it would be adjustable and it would be higher. It would definitely be higher quality. It's so easy with these tools. I don't even know why people do stuff by hand anymore. And I'll reuse all these bolts. Definitely open diff. Thank God. Woo! This was a open diff differential and I just wanted to check out what it looked like. This is very conventional looking for me with the spider gears and the shaft coming through. But when I bought the VLSD, the viscosity limited slip, I hadn't seen one before. So when I went to go pick it up, I'm like, guys, I want to open up the back and have a look. So I was kind of grinding their gears a bit, trying to ask them questions, you know, because it didn't look the same, but thankfully I didn't get scammed. So, woo! Thank you, Facebook, buy, sell. I was worried about having to cut the axles, but I might be able to get away with, because the diff isn't in the center, and the axles are different lengths, so that's a couple inches I'm saving there, just from the difference right here. So that might be enough. Probably not, though. Our luck, probably not. This is really exciting. I'm gonna try and unbox this and not damage it with this little knife, even though this is some Dirty Midget gear. Look at this. Oh. What do you think, Rich? What do you think?
I think you did a really nice job. So Blaine from Canada?
Blaine from Canada. Beer Boss.
Awesome.
That one could be yours, and this one is mine. And he made me some extra brackets. I don't know what those are. Here's a divided manifold. Your wrap is really good.
So what's this, the roll bar?
This is my... It's the only thing that's good, solid going in the Midget. No, it's this is gonna be my front cross member and suspension mount. Look, you even cut up some brackets. Bend those up, little tabby things.
Nice.
Yeah, look at those. Look how high the lower control arm mount is. Like that's the bottom of the frame and then it's up here. just to get the right geometry. And it's like, I don't know, 30 pounds, 40 pounds?
Is it gonna fit?
I don't know. This is the first attempt. And I think it will.
Don't force it, just get a bigger hammer.
I got one. I got a sledge over on the side. That's my new front suspension mount.
It fits.
That fits pretty good.
That's about as good as you could possibly get from getting it made at the other side of the country or province.
Province with a napkin drawn.
You said them in a. Did you mail him a napkin?
No, I took a picture of the napkin. I think that's gonna work great.
Well, yeah.
See if I can find that.
Wow, that is perfect.
What I'm thinking is cutting this out and maybe using this as a mounting point, like to bring it back. Not bad, eh?
Get rid of it. Get rid of that. Put it in. Weld it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Don't think. Just cut.
No, I gotta cut a lot of stuff.
I'll get the torches.
Get it. We got plasma cutters now. I use angle grinder. Alright, yeah, not too bad.
It's already a car.
Yeah, it's done. Let's go. Let's go! So, okay, before everyone says, why the hell didn't you just cut everything off and start fresh from the begin with? And you might have been right, but you're also wrong because I needed to figure out my dimensions and where stuff was gonna go before I just cut everything out and then I would just put it in the scrap pile because I wouldn't know what to do with it. That's just weight savings. Weight savings.
Yeah.
But I'm liking where it's going. Right now I'm working on the pillars, the pieces that go on the pillars.
Oh, okay.
What I'm thinking is I'm pretty much gonna I'm gonna leave the tops of both of these, like this section, cut off the bottoms because then we can build all our square tubing. Like I'll probably cut this out anyway, but that side I need for the steering column and stuff, and the pedal positioning it's already done, so I don't need to do that. But I'm thinking we'll start boxing this out with box steel, doing our pieces. That's why I want to get the cross members in there so I know where they're going. That's why I have the wheel on there because I'm gonna do a tie-in probably out to the corner like this because I have enough room.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna hit the wheel turning, I think. We'll have to do some more measuring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the door pillars, and then once those are in, we can weld those in.
Basically, the whole car is going to be tacked together, and then it's like 2 days of just solid welding.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
This gives me some new vigor. Getting the cross member is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like the transmission for the Audi. It determines where everything kind of goes.
Yep.
Everything gets built around it. You can start making the mounts for the engine now that you know that's not going to get in the way. How low that sits, oil pan clearance, blah, 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 all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so I have the knuckles.
Okay.
And that's my upper control arm I'm going to use in factory. I'm going to make lowers. I have to look at the drive shaft about maybe using 2 of the short sides. Hopefully that'll give us the right width.
Okay.
If it's close, we'll just use it and I don't care. Blaine made these up for us, so we just bend them up and we can just weld those right to wherever we make our frame.
Right, nice.
So we got all our mounting points. I'm just looking for a source for cheap ball joints for now. I know everyone says buy expensive, fancy ones, but I'm gonna buy like the $6 ones. I don't care.
Stefan's life is worth $6.
Maybe 3. I'm gonna get some cheapies for mock-up for now, and like if they get wrecked or if we have to modify them, if they don't work, then I can get the right ones.
Yeah, there's slim chance of the tire like bouncing inside the cabin hitting you.
It's a roll cage, huh? So what I've been working on for the past like hour and a bit is trying to get the roll cage mounts done. So there's this piece in here that I've trimmed to fit so it slots. It actually goes into the body. You can see the slot I've cut out on that side. And then I'm going to attach my framing, the exoskeleton that'll come up and attach and tie this whole thing together. Now with the sweet front suspension, it didn't fit. So I had to hack it out. But that's not a big deal. I'm just going to cross brace in here and then tie it back into there once I cage it out. And I'm gonna start making those pieces shortly, actually get some stuff done. What do you think? just box this out, cut this all away because it's just a flat piece I'm gonna put back on. I did the same over here for my frame support, and now I'm gonna lift up the body somehow by myself. So I've got my uprights, and those are wider and go into the door jambs, and then this is gonna be my cross brace. I just have it out on the one side to so I can squeeze a little bit when I'm pulling it up, and hopefully I don't pull the body together. That might happen. This is gonna happen really slowly. We only had one casualty, and that was that light bulb. It still worked for a bit, but I took it out. So it actually worked pretty good. The only thing that popped off was this tack welded cross member, but I know where it goes, so it's not a big deal. It'll be easier with help to put it back on. Just get the exoskeleton or whatever the heck you guys call it, or frame, or the thingamajig, the anti-die cage. So we're just going to slip the motor in. This is not welded in for a good reason, so we can just slide the motor in. And I just want to check my clearances on the transmission and everything, make sure. So we put her in, she fits. Motor, the engine. We'll go lower in the car once we modify the oil pan and stuff. Rich had a fabulous idea for a dry sump system, utilizing this huge front cross member as the reservoir, and just tap some lines into it and fill the sucker up so she'll never run dry.
Also rust prevention.
Yeah.
And it's probably super clean in there. So
I don't know.
You could make like a access.
Yeah, but I can't look up the tower. Anyway, whatever. We're getting
3 access. So this isn't welded solid yet. We can cut this right back out again.
The idea for right now, we still have to build more of the boxing in around. I just wanted to see my clearances on the transmission tunnel. The turbo, this is not going to stay on it. Like I said before, we're going to build our own manifold, put the turbo up in this general area. I have tons of room in here. The other thing we're just questioning is the exhaust, routing of the exhaust. Well, I'll just plan ahead. I was thinking of coming through here and just doing an S-bend down the side of the trans and then along the bottom. That could be potential heat problems. The other idea is coming down along the front, squeezing it by the bottom of the pan underneath the trans. There might be a bit of clearancing issue, but we're thinking of just maybe making an oval for just around this bell housing. Oh, and then and then a hater pipe.
I think you're going to be stuck coming through here and then just going nicely out the front, right in front, out the skirt. Yeah.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
No. Or
if
nice.
It would come down the side. I'd come out the side of the car and down out the back, and probably the turbo blow off will be sticking out the side somewhere, so I could shoot that at people when I pass them. Best bet, I think, is to sneak it down past underneath the car.
Keep it underneath, yeah. Get some airflow down there.
Yeah.
While we've got this pretty basic yet, we're going to keep doing work on the way back and have the whole kind of car looking like a skeleton. Then we can start welding solid.
So what we've got done so far is we started boxing out everything, as you can clearly see. Still working on that, fine tuning. We just fitted the engine and transmission in place and just looking at some clearances and kind of getting an idea how to wrap everything around it and make everything fit. It's coming along really nicely, but that proves you got to do your research before you just dive into something. So what's next? Next thing we're going to work on is we're going to tear down this engine and see what the insides look like. I know they're not the greatest, so it's gonna be fun to see what an engine with like 200 something K on it looks like. And then the next step for the Midget is finish boxing out the front section. I'm gonna leave the front cross member probably free floating for now, just till we get a little bit farther in the build, and then I'm gonna start working on the trans tunnel back to the rear. Now the car looks really funny with the body sitting here. but it's just convenience. That's just where I put it. So later on we'll move it around and you guys can have a better idea of the whole thing, and then I'll start cranking on mounting the rear diff in it. Fun times ahead.